Shopify is paying me to do it. You've probably seen me before because for the
Thank you, Ronnie. Shout out to my buddy Ronnie. He proved a point or a theory I wanted to test. Uh, Accurate. Well, hello. I had to go outside in the ice to outhouse. Pretty exciting. Hadn't done it yet. I did. I did it. Now I've got a good presentation. Of course, I've got to murder bugs. Yeah. Yeah. So you see this postcard? I had found it and because I had this dream that I met Dean Radin and we had agreed to do some magic stuff and drew up some papers. I know that's weird. I know it's weird, but it's also very cool. Because I bet the rest of this is significant. Plus, I'm gonna do it. But in the dream that I had, um, and I'm not gonna go over the reasons why. I'm just gonna basically say that I had a dream before, and I had to go into this building, and I had to get up to whatever floor he was on, and then I got this paper signed, which was weird because it was like this. I'm gonna redraw it though. It seems significant. The thing was like that, and you signed. We would both sign in these two spots for whatever reason, because he was basically explaining scientifically what magic is and how you could interact with it and why it would be difficult for someone who's like a shaman or someone who it just swallows up their whole life, the weirdness. So on that point, for normalization, one of my complaints about the gang stalking whatever you want to call it, program, operation, all that jazz, is that everybody's involved in it. So So my friend asked me something. She asked me something like posing it like as if they were taking a test in her school, and she's like was asking about incest. She's like, "What do you think about incest?" I was like, "I think incest is gross." I was like, "But a lot of people watch incest porn because they're not they're not trying to fuck their sister. They're trying to fuck the girl that's in their house." You know what I mean? That's the fantasy.
Ability to focus our intent. That
And I don't believe her because all these people are plugged into this other thing, which number one preoccupies you from being available to not only know what the fuck my deal is because you're addressing it with your program, but it didn't allow me to close it up, finish my loose ends, and I was correct because with the way it is now, I mean, it's like everybody knows everything because everybody's connected. So there is no but I'll break loose because I've gotten the necessary uh oh yeah, it's just part of the wave. Why so serious? He does look so serious. They both do. Don't fall over. It'll go 5 minutes.
allows the outcome to get potentially closer to the outcome that we desire. When we're trying to manipulate other people's lives, and the more people we involve, the more intentions are involved, and that's when things get a little bit muddier. Intention, does it have to be a positive intention in your experience with the research? Like, does it have to be a good thing that you're looking for?
It doesn't. It looks as though these abilities are simply part of the fabric of reality. And so the direction of what you wish is independent of the outcome. But of course it depends on yourself. If you're wishing for something that internally you're thinking maybe that's not such a great thing, well, that'll get in the way. If you're wishing for somebody else to become healthy who might be ill, and you don't have the permission to wish for that, that may not work very well for either person. So again, you want to be careful about what you're wishing for, because A, it might come true, and B, you might accidentally be overriding somebody else's free will. So this comes out of this long tradition, the magical traditions of spell casting. What is it that you want? What are the consequences of actually getting it? And so we're talking here about magic as though I'm a sorcerer or something, and I'm not. I'm a scientist. And so the conclusions that I've reached about the nature of magic is, first of all, it exists. Again, it's not like what you see in movies. But second, it's based on evidence from 150 years of scientific tests of psychic phenomena. Because what we currently call psychic effects, things like clairvoyance and psychokinetics and so on, those are exactly the same as what magicians would call magic. And the only reason that the words are different is because they come out of different cultures and different points in history. But the phenomena are the same kinds of phenomena.
I think that's what's so valuable about your book is that you're taking what has traditionally been considered a very woo-woo topic, and you start out the whole thing with the history of like magic and why things have been taboo, and really the understanding as to why we don't really openly talk about this kind of information anymore, or in our culture it's shifted, and then you take it through various studies that you've done that are going into, you know, studying intention and practicing how that might work, and like double blind tests to see what the results are. I think one of the things that I was really curious about was this observer effect, which has kind of caught more attention now that, now that quantum has caught a little bit more attention. So can you explain what the observer effect is, just for like a layperson?
Pension retiree, if you're willing to use your computer from 9 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. on most weekdays, I can show you one simple trade to fix it. It was first discovered in physics, at least, and on other disciplines as well.
The commercials have 500 times themselves
Found to be very strange.
recently.
They're still called weird, just because they don't fit everyday, which is kind of a refinement of common sense. If you observe a system, it doesn't change. So the way this was described by Einstein and others is when you look at the moon, it's there. If you're looking at the moon, it's there. If you look away, if you think it's still there, well, yeah. I mean, our common experience says just because I'm not looking at something doesn't mean it goes away. Quantum mechanics is not quite the same though. Quantum mechanics, when you observe quantum, very typically, not always, but typically very small particles like electrons and photons and things like that. When you look at it, the properties are different if you don't look at it. So that's what is called the observer. So the way this is demonstrated in physics 101, typically with the double slit optical system, where you shine photons that go through two tiny little slits, and they pass through the slits, and they end up on the screen or the camera. And the point is, if you don't know which of the slits that the photon goes through, and you send a bunch of them through there, you'll end up with a sort of interference pattern, which is like lighting the amplified in the dark. And if you do know, you look carefully, either with an instrument or as we're showing in our experiments, even with your mind, if you do know which of the two slits the photon goes through, it means you gain something about the properties of the photon itself. And one of the experiments that I've been doing with this kind of phenomenon, it's called you gain position localization. If you actually know where the photon is, just knowing that is sufficient to cause it to
You know
behave
shit.
differently than if you didn't know where it was precisely. And so that's what's called the observer effect, which is also part of what's called the quantum measurement problem, which has to do with when you measure a quantum system properties. It's not exactly that they'll change, it's more like before you measure something, it has a huge array of possible properties. Unlike in the everyday world, when you look at something, 100 years ago.
Sure, but the conversations about this, well, like, I guess what I'm saying is the research hasn't really been happening with modern day science until what, the last 50 years?
Almost from the beginning.
Really? Okay.
Most of the founders were already recognizing that the strangeness of quantum mechanics and the quantum measurement problem, which is this issue of why do quanta change when you measure it, that was recognized very early on, at least 80 years ago. What has changed is that as the idea of quantum mechanics developed around the 1960s or so, there was always this notion that there were things like entanglement, that particles were connected even though they didn't appear to be connected. It took years, it took 40 years or so before somebody figured out a way of testing if that was actually true. That was John Bell. And it took another 20 years for somebody to actually do the experiment. It took another 20 or 30 years before three people got the Nobel Prize a couple of years ago for demonstrating experimentally that entanglement is actually a real thing. In quantum mechanics, non-local connections are actually real. So it did take 80 years, maybe 90 years until experiments caught up to what the theory was predicting. Of what you can measure, you can buy a tabletop apparatus now to create entangled photons. So in its essence, you take a photon, like a high energy photon, like a blue photon, you send it through a certain kind of apparatus and it splits into two red photons, which are lower energy. And then you send one of those red photons through something like a polarizer, which will change the polarization of the photon. And you can measure what the polarization is of the other photon. Because once they split in a classical sense, they're two photons now, two separate things. An entangled pair will show that you can trigger one with polarization once for other methods, and the other one will always respond in the opposite way. It'll show the opposite property. Well, you don't see that in a classical system unless the two actually coming out of a common source and obtaining the same underlying properties. But even if that were true in a classical system, if I change one, then the other one's not going to change. You could care less what I did to my partner because the partner's way off somewhere else. But entangled pairs, it doesn't matter. And so the theory said that once we have the entangled pair, they literally can be anywhere, opposite sides of the universe, and I can twiddle one and the other one will respond. This doesn't mean that there's some kind of super local connection, they're not talking to each other in a classical way, but they're still connected in some way. So it is the nature of that connection, which is now being used for things like quantum communication and quantum computing, and people are using it. The interpretation of exactly what that means is still not entirely clear.
Okay. What role do you think the brain plays in all of this? Intentions, thoughts, like, observing, proton or electron, whatever. What do we...
The sign up to the entire process of making a podcast, from recording to edit, and even generating clips automatically from your podcast to share with others. Thanks to the recording over the site means you and your guests get stable, high-quality recordings, which still hold up to the voice and experiences of others in connection. Your entire show is transcribed in the text like a double take, which will let you edit your show by simply editing the text. With a single click, you can add captions, clean up your audio, refine your margins, and generate You can even ask the co-creator AI to generate short clips highlighting these specific.
We work, believe the brain is as important as we've always thought it's been in modern day, or is this not unfortunate?
I like my brain.
Okay.
I have a brain. I have a brain. The question is, from a neuroscience perspective, the assumption has been that consciousness, or sense of self-awareness, subjectivity, and the nature of experience is generated by the brain. And that's where you find books with titles like You Are Your Brain. And this is sort of the prevailing idea now within neuroscience, and I've been for years, that there's subjective self-awareness is generated by the brain. There's a very complex recursive object with all representation. The sense of awareness or experience is brain-centric.
Where's my mouse?
So that's where things get interesting. Because the problem in the neuroscience is called the hard problem. The way that we observe things from the outside, looking at the way the brain works, when you bite into a lemon, you can trace from the outside looking at what's going on in the neurons and everything. All kinds of activity happens. You can measure EEG, people in a functional MRI, you're going to see the brain respond simply when you're biting into a lemon versus biting a piece of chocolate or something like that. That doesn't tell us anything about what it's like on the inside. When you bite one thing versus the other, eventually be seen as a special case. Just like classical physics is a special case of the nature of reality, and quantum mechanics is a more comprehensive case. Same with relativity. You track science in almost every discipline. It starts out with an idea of this is the way things are. And then something comes along and says, well, that's really demonstrated. It has to be a big scale kind of thing. And then everything just keeps expanding. Physics and neuroscience and everything else. When you start expanding away from determinism as simply explains everything, you do find that there are lots of
did the things I needed to do, and I made a showing of it to get the action with my co-creating is optional. You may participate. It's not necessary, but you should want to. Dirty little bitch. You dirty little bitch.
So, science is not ready to become purely idealistic yet. It's worth pointing out that almost all of the founders of quantum mechanics were idealists. That was their worldview. That's why when you look at the writings that they had, this is 100 years ago now, but the writings of most of the founders of quantum mechanics said that consciousness is private. So that's why our present embodiment is so overwhelmingly self-evident. Except if you had something like a telepathic experience, or you had a precognitive dream, or you had something else like that, you suddenly get this makes sense. That I'm doing something right here. I'm also extending somehow space and time, you can do something else fine. Those are not every people work out. It's dismissed by science.
Pardon me, I do need to do my ritual, but I basically want you to see and participate, because where I'm going with it, once I break free of the psychological torment and shenanigans, which I can easily, we're going to some wonderful new place where we're going to incorporate magic into the world's daily life in a new, unheard of way.
Lion! Let's try it again. Alright, pick a fucking card. Look at it, remember it, and keep it in your fucking brain. Is it the 9 of hearts? Yeah. Fuck you! It's magic! Alright. I'm gonna stab myself. Who's gonna stop me? Fuck you. Ow, it hurts. It's magic. Go home and try that trick. Any knife will do. Alright. Watch close. Shut the fuck up. Alright. Now you gotta guess if the ball's in the hand or the pocket. Ready? Hand or pocket? Hand, fuck you, pocket. It's magic. Alright, let's try it again. Ready? Hand or pocket? Fuck you, pocket. You people are stupid. I'm fooling you and you don't like it. Alright, let's try it once more for the stupid people. You know who you are. Maybe you don't know who you are. Alright, ready? Hand or pocket? Fuck you, pocket! Magic! Alright, try and make it a little easier for you. Is it in this hand or the other one? This one? Fuck you! Thank you very much.